Hi, my name is Nathan Foulkes, and I'm the lead firefighter on the fire crew at Alaska Western Area Fire Management for the National Park Service here in Alaska. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about why we're doing a fuels reduction project around Dick Proenneke's cabin here in Lake Clark National Park, and furthermore why we do projects like this around all of our cabins here in the Park Service in Alaska. The reason that we're doing this fuels thinning project is to create what we call defensible space around this cabin. Defensible space is quite simply an area around the cabin that we can defend it from wildland fire. Fire is a very natural part of the landscape in Alaska. We've had 2 fires here in Lake Clark National Park in this area in the last year. There's always the potential there, so we want to make sure we're prepared. In Alaska, we have what we call Firewise standards, which is basically a standard that starts at the cabin and goes out 100 feet as to what should be removed in order to create a defensible space around a cabin. What we need to do is remove all the fuels in the area. So that's going to consist of the brush that's on the ground and limbing up the trees. So the brush and the limbs act as ladder fuels that carry fire from the ground into the crowns of the trees. We also want to cut down a few of the spruce trees around the cabin to create what we call good crown spacing, so that the trees aren't right next to each other. If one tree were to catch fire, we don't want the tree right next to it catching fire and carrying that fire through the rest of the crown. So the finished product of what we're trying to look for here is basically an area that's free of the brush and with good crown spacing, and it should look open, and we want to be able to basically come in here, set up sprinkler systems, start a pump, and be able to leave this area so that the sprinklers are hitting the cabin, they're hitting all the vegetation around it, and the hope is that as the fire comes through, it hits that 100-foot buffer, it lays down, it doesn't travel through this area with the intensity, and the cabin will hopefully be saved.